All truth passes through three stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. Talent hits a target no one else can hit, genius hits a target no one else can see.
To live alone is the fate of all great souls. Just remember, once you're over the hill you begin to pick up speed. Each day is a little life, every waking and rising a little birth, every fresh morning a little youth, every going to rest and sleep a little death. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. A man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. Money is human happiness in the abstract. He, then, who is no longer capable of enjoying human happiness in the concrete devotes himself utterly to money. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Satisfaction consists in freedom from pain, which is the positive element of life. Men are by nature merely indifferent to one another, but women are by nature enemies. They tell us that suicide is the greatest piece of cowardice, that suicide is wrong, when it is quite obvious that there is nothing in the world to which every man has a more unassailable title than to his own life and person. Compassion is the basis of morality. I've never known any trouble that an hour's reading didn't assuage. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. There is no doubt that life is given us, not to be enjoyed, but to be overcome, to be got over. Every parting gives a foretaste of death, every reunion a hint of the resurrection. The more unintelligent a man is, the less mysterious existence seems to him. With people of limited ability modesty is merely honesty. But with those who possess great talent it is hypocrisy. After your death you will be what you were before your birth. Two enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. The first 40 years of life give us the text, the next 30 supply the commentary on it. Hatred is an affair of the heart, contempt that of the head. Will-power is to the mind like a strong blind man who carries on his shoulders a lame man who can see. Buying books would be a good thing if one could also buy the time to read them in. But as a rule the purchase of books is mistaken for the appropriation of their contents. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. Treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. Wealth is like sea water, the more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. Friends and acquaintances are the surest passport to fortune. The wise have always said the same things, and fools, who are the majority, have always done just the opposite. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death, and the higher the rate of interest and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed. It is a clear gain to sacrifice pleasure in order to avoid pain. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. Reading is equivalent to thinking with someone else's head instead of with one's own. In our monogamous part of the world, to marry means to have one's rights and double one's duties. Journalists are like dogs, whenever anything moves they begin to bark. Every person takes the limits of their own field of vision for the limits of the world. It is in the treatment of trifles that a person shows what they are. Music is the melody whose text is the world. Wicked thoughts and worthless efforts gradually set their mark on the face, especially the eyes. The difficulty is to try and teach the multitude that something can be true and untrue at the same time. In action, a great heart is the chief qualification. In work, a great head. Honor has not to be won, it must only not be lost. The greatest achievements of the human mind are generally received with distrust. If we were not all so interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. It is only at the first encounter that a face makes its full impression on us. The fundament upon which all our knowledge and learning rests is the inexplicable. The longer a man's fame is likely to last, the longer it will be in coming. To free a person from error is to give, and not to take away. Every possession and every happiness is but lent by chance for an uncertain time, and may therefore be demanded back the next hour. Martyrdom is the only way a man can become famous without ability. To buy books would be a good thing if we also could buy the time to read them. It's the niceties that make the difference. Fate gives us the hand, and we play the cards. Obstinacy is the result of the will forcing itself into the place of the intellect. It is with trifles, and when he is off guard, that a man best reveals his character. The word of man is the most durable of all material.